Good morning, YouTube. Today is Saturday, 22nd. It's about 6 o'clock. I've been up for a little bit now. One of my favorite things now to do in the mornings is just read my Bible, read whatever book it is that I'm reading right now. Right now I'm reading Godly Ambition by Ruslan KD. Only about 25 pages into it so far. But I'm really enjoying the book thus far. One of the recent books that I read was Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, founder of Nike. That book has a lot of insights to it. Maybe I can go through and do like a small video series of like books that I read, different lessons that I learn, that kind of a thing. But one of the things that I've been really trying to improve upon is my habits, and specifically just what habits do I need to get myself from where I'm at to where I want to be? How do I use those habits? A, to glorify God, because I am a Christian man. But B, how do I use my ambition? And this is a good question from the book too. How do I use my ambition, A, to glorify God, but B, also try and use my time in a wisely way so as to still have time with my family and not use my family's time up, say, for things like the gym. And so part of what I'm going to talk about today is the top 5 things that I've learned since being a twin dad over the last 8 months, in terms of training and in terms of habits, as a new dad to be able to utilize. Pre-workout meal, we're going to do our standard oatmeal. I've got about 2 ounces of oatmeal in here with a scoop of protein powder, the BUM series from Raw Nutrition. I'm going to do about 10 grams of peanut butter in this as well. And I'm going to add on about a handful of blueberries into the oatmeal. Blueberries are fantastic. Actually been shown to help brain health. So let's talk about today's training session. I'm going to leave here probably within the next 5 to 10 minutes, which will give me about 2 hours. I've got to get back here in time for my wife to record one of her podcasts. I'll leave a link down in the description to her podcast. She's a nurse practitioner. And, she also owns the Christian School, or is a co-founder of the Christian School for Health and Nutrition. And so on that podcast, she's always talking about nutrition-based stuff, wellness-based stuff, and it's really, I mean, obviously I'm biased, she's my wife, but I think it's a fantastic podcast regardless of, what topic she does. And there's one that I'm on recently, so definitely give that a check out if you are watching this. But today's training session is going to be hopefully completed by the time I gotta be done at the gym at around 8:15, so I can get back here by 8:30. So the plan for today is lower body. I'm gonna record as much of it as I can today. Hopefully I remember. I plan on jumping on the stationary bike and doing some sprints. So ideally around 15 to 20 minutes of sprints. It'll be 30 seconds on, 1 minute off, 30 seconds on, 1 minute off, 30 seconds on, 1 minute off. And this is something I did somewhat recently for myself. Really enjoyed it. It's a great way to get in some quick cardio if you are very limited on time, which I tend to be whenever I go into the gym. Okay, first off, I apologize if you guys are hearing babies in the background. They're supposed to be asleep right now, and they are not. Also, if you see me looking down, it's because I've never used this system before. So this is going to be kind of fun. But anyways, I wanted to go over 5 things real quick. So I've been a dad now for, 8 months as of 2 days ago. As you can see, I am a girl dad of two. My wife and I had twins about 8 months ago. They were born March 20th of 2025. And it's been hard. It's been very hard. During that time frame, I've worked in the car business, I've worked in an office job, and now my wife and I are co-founding a business together, and I'm starting this up as well. So I've had a few different scenarios, throughout this whole situation that I've been training within. And there's really 5 things that I feel like I've learned, and kind of some of them have some overlap, but I feel like there's 5 things that I've really learned during this phase of life in terms of training. And the first one is that boring is good. Having a routine is good. Create a routine, stick to it. It's going to help a lot if you have a routine that you're in all the time. Whenever that baby is crying in the middle of the night, because you're not going to want to get up in the morning if you aren't already used to it, you're not going to want to do it. Same thing if you're training at night. Like, you're going to get home at night, you're going to finish up work at the end of the day, and you're going to be like, I do not want to train. I want to go home. I want to go to bed. Stick to that routine. Stick to it. Keep it. Because there's going to be a rest day that comes up, and you're going to be able to rest on that rest day. You're going to have extra sleep. You're going to be able to go to bed early or whatever. Stick to it. And that brings me kind of to my next point. I wouldn't train at night. I would train early. And the reason why I say that is because you have a baby. You're going to want to spend as much time as you can with that baby. In my case, too, right? I do not like having to take up time from my family. Heck, I'm in here recording right now. It is 1:25. I would rather be out there with them right now than sitting in here recording this video, because I want to be with my family as much as possible. And you probably will too. And so what that means is either A, you're going to have to sacrifice your fitness goals, you're going to have to sacrifice the things that you've worked for and want to work for again, or you're just going to have to suck it up, get up early. I was waking up when I was working at my office job and in the car business. I was waking up at 4 a.m. to get to the gym between 5 and 5:30, and I'd have to leave by 6:30 in order to get to work on time. So you do have to keep to this regimen. The good thing about the office job was that I was out at 5, and then I come home, get home around 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I'd have the rest of the evening to my family, because that's what I wanted. I wanted to be home with my family. I didn't want to be, I didn't want to be at the gym during that time. And whenever I would have to leave to go to work, they were all still sleeping. I wasn't seeing them first thing in the morning. So it made sense to just get up early, suck it up, get up, and just go. Highly, highly recommend training early. The next point of that, too, is training efficiently. You want to get up early, but you also want your sessions to be efficient. This was kind of counterintuitive of how I used to train. I used to go in there, I would spend 2 hours weightlifting. And sometimes I still do, because it's fun. But there's days where you might wake up a little bit late, because guess what? Reality is reality. Your baby wants to get up, or not, doesn't want to get up, but your baby's going to scream in the middle of the night. I have 2 of them. Last night, I think we were up probably 4 or 5 times between the 2 of them screaming. You're going to have wake-ups in the middle of the night. And so what that means is that there's days where you're going to probably miss your alarm. You might wake up late. You might wake up 30 minutes late. You might wake up 45 minutes late because you're so dang tired and you hit that snooze button way too many times. We've all been there. And so what that means is that you have to be able to train efficiently. One of the things that having a constrained time to train has done for me personally is it kind of creates this like switch in the back of my head. Like, oh, I gotta be freaking quick. And so I go in, I'm like a man on a mission. I get in, I skip doing cardio warm-up, I go straight to foam rolling and stretching, and then I'm just focused on getting the most intense sets that I can of each exercise and flying through them. I generally, whenever that happens, will only rest about a minute and a half between sets. I'm flying, and I may not go super heavy. I may not PR that day. That's not the goal. The goal is just to get an intense, quick session in and get the heck out of there so I can come back, get ready for work or see my kids or whatever the plan is, right? So train efficiently. And on top of that, have a plan. Have a list of things that you're intending on doing while you're at the gym. I personally use a coach. If you guys don't have a coach and you guys are looking for a coach, I am a coach. So feel free to DM me and let me know if you are interested in coaching. I'll have a whole website set up here soon, so you guys can take a look at all the pricing structure and everything like that. Have a plan whenever you go into the gym. Do not just be free-forming it. Don't go in and think, oh, it's chest day, because you're going to take up too much time if you're doing that. If you're just like, oh, it's chest day, let me do this. Right, let me do this next, and just kind of jumping around, it's gonna take up too much time. You're not gonna have a great workout. By the time you're done, you'll have been there for 3 hours, and your kids will be awake, or you'll be late for work, or whatever. Right? Just go in, have a plan, be set, and on top of that, keep your nutrition simple. This is tip number 4. Keep nutrition simple. My wife loves to cook. So before we had the babies, she was doing a ton of cooking. She was doing a ton of cooking. She was cooking fun meals. She was cooking all kinds of crazy stuff. I loved it. It was great. However, it's not simple. And whenever the babies come, your wife's not going to want to do anything. Like, she's not going to want to do anything. And so what that means usually is you're stuck with takeout. And takeout's not necessarily bad if you have a good place where you can find macro-friendly foods, good healthy food, whole food. We have a couple of those kinds of restaurants here. We have Fresh Kitchen. We have Chichio Cali. We have restaurants like that are pretty solid in terms of, quality ingredients, things like that. But that's a lot of money. It's expensive. Keeping your nutrition simple is super beneficial. This week, the food that I prepped, ground turkey with some taco seasoning on it, ground beef with salt, pepper, garlic. I have a container of rice that I actually just finished that I made in the rice cooker, and then some sweet potatoes and some broccoli. And just keep it simple. Don't have anything that takes up too much time, because this is a season where your time is extremely valuable and extremely precious. So you want to make things simple. You want to always have something ready to go. You want to always have something that you can reach for really quickly in case you're starving or, whatever. And last but not least, it is important to acknowledge that resting is okay. You don't want to rest too much, right? I'm not saying like, okay, I was up for 3 hours in the middle of the night last night, and then I've missed 3 days in a row, I'm going to miss again. Like, no, don't slack. My rule is still, for me personally, don't miss more than 2 days in a row. If I miss 2 days in a row, I have to go the next day. But if you have to miss 2 days in a row, that's fine. Up to 2 days in a row, just fine. Any more than that, not good. But there's going to be times where, again, I told you guys last night, my kids were both up like 5 or 6 times in the middle of the night. I think my ring showed me that I have an Ultra Human ring, by the way, and then I have this Garmin as well. My Garmin said I only got like 4 hours and 50 minutes of sleep. I think my Ultra Human said I got around 6 hours. They're totally different, but neither is the recommended 7 to 8, 9 hours that you're supposed to get, right? That's kind of going to be the normal thing. You're not going to be getting enough sleep. Just accept that and understand that there's going to be times where your body is just completely worn down and you need to take a rest day. Take that extra hour or 2 of sleep. Your body will thank you. But don't get caught up in the niceness of the rest, because what might end up happening is that you just end up slacking. So set yourself a rule. For me, it's 2 days. I'm allowed 2 days off, and I got to get back in. So set yourself a rule, be intentional, and be on top of it. Keep things as organized as you can. That way it makes it that much easier of a decision for you to be able to get going. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. If you did enjoy, please leave a thumbs up and down below. Write a comment if you thought anything was interesting, if you had anything to say, and I'll leave a link in description to my wife's podcast that I mentioned earlier. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and have a fantastic rest of your day.